Singapore's public toilets still have a long way to go. A nationwide study by SMU of 1,000 toilets finds them as dirty as they were 3 years ago. The study also confirms previous findings that toilets near cooking facilities are significantly dirtier. 1 in 4 persons would rather hold it in than actually use these toilets. We flush out some details of this survey with the person behind the study, Principal Lecturer of Statistics at SMU, Rosie, Ching. Joining on Zoom is Jack Sim. He's CEO and founder of the World Toilet Organization. He's speaking to us, from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ms. Ching, now I'm sure your study will be carefully couched, carefully phrased, but give it to me in plain terms. Why so dirty?
Well, we studied the hawker center and coffee shop toilets, and we found them to be largely in a woeful state, particularly the coffee shop toilets. When you enter, you have stained floors, wet floors, oily floors, and they are usually relegated to small spaces that are rather dark, poorly lit, poorly ventilated, absent to inadequate ventilation. You have absent to inadequate toilet paper. You have clogged sinks, dirty taps, stained mirrors, and the seats are quite gruesome sometimes. You have footprints on the seats, or you have stuff inside the toilet bowl that one might expect to have been flushed away long ago. Altogether, it makes for a very challenging toilet-going experience for any customer in a food-eating place like a hawker center or a coffee shop.
All right, Mr. Sim can comment on this. Now, you're CEO of, you're the founder, let's take a look here, of the World Toilet Organization. Now, what you've just heard from Ms. Chung, does that surprise you? No improvement from 3 years ago?
Yeah, actually, I've been working with Professor Rosie Ching since 8 years, and we try our best to persuade everything to be clean. However, we have been trying to solve this problem, and the government, NEA, has been saying that the user should improve. But, you know, the users are the same as the shopping center. And if shopping centers are clean, it's because the owners saw it as a revenue generation and they're responsible. The coffee shop, on the other hand, says that if it's dirty, it's better because I can save money, I don't have to clean it, and nobody uses it, I save water. So I think this attitude can only be solved by the government enforcement because, you know, the government gave 1,200 coffee shops a 90% grant to renovate their toilet, and only 40 take up the offer. So they really are not interested. I think we have invested for F1 and livable city, and Singapore is really winning in every count except the coffee shop toilet. In fact, the hawker center toilet has improved, but the coffee shop stagnate. And basically, we need to find the owner, and I can tell you it will improve. Once they pay the fine often, then it will improve.
Ms. Ching, you described some of these toilets in question as being gruesome.
Yes.
I mean, that's an image for a toilet that nobody wants to imagine, and it really puts the seriousness of the situation squarely in place.
Yeah.
You decided to call your study Waterloo.
Yes, I did.
As well, right? Why did just tell us about why your students, what your students are doing with this study.
Right. Well, I regard my students as my treasured comrades in arms in this battle of Waterloo against dirty public toilets. What I did was I divided up all the toilets after having received the lists of these hawker center and coffee shop toilets from the SFA, Singapore Food Agency, and the NEA. I divided them up into the 5 CDCDs of Singapore, the Community Development Council districts, and from then on we drilled a bit deeper and formed groups of toilets, which we then delegated to these toilet warriors in groups of 4 to 7 each, and they were dispatched out for field work in the toilets as well as to interview human participants, customers and workers alike in these premises.
Right, so getting a very close-up sort of knowledge on just the extent of the problem here.
Right.
Mr. Sim, the toilets closer to the cooking facilities. I mean, you mentioned this a little bit earlier on. They were the dirtiest. Why is it that that is the case? And do you think that there should be more distance? I mean, would that make even a difference if the distance between the cooking facilities and the toilets were greater?
I think the coffee shop don't have much space. Therefore, the hygiene level has to be kept up very high. The problem is that the attitude of the coffee shop owner, who is actually not at the coffee shop, they are sitting somewhere in an office far away. These are very wealthy people that owns numbers of coffee shops. So they are not there on the site. And what happened is that food hygiene become very dangerous. When pathogens from the toilet travel into food, and when the cook don't have even the soap to wash their hands, in the coffee shop, the soap is diluted with so much water, they even want to save like that 10 cent, 20 cent. The cook cannot wash their hands. So where do they put? They wipe it on your food, So I would like the public to complain more to the NEA and demand that coffee shop toilet be as clean as the shopping center toilet.
Ms. Ching,
I have been helping countries like China.
Sorry, just to cut in very quickly, because I think your point is that the onus is on coffee shop owners who have no incentive to clean their toilets. But Ms. Ching, if this was your own toilet at home, would you make a mess as you would do in a public toilet? Surely that is the right attitude for us to take as users of any toilet, private or public.
Of course not. I would not keep it that way. I would definitely see to it that I clean it up myself.
So it's change of attitude, both, as Mr. Sim says, coffee shop owners and users of toilets. I'm glad to have both of you join us this evening.
You
Mr.
must know
Mr. Sim?
user is the same. Yes?
Just very quickly, do wrap up and then we can go. Thank you. A final point, Mr. Sim, very quickly.
The user are the same in the shopping center and the coffee shop. The difference is the owner. So if we blame the user, actually it doesn't work, because there's only 1% who will mess up, 99% behave very well. So we have to clean it up.
All right, thanks so much for that point. We're really right. 10 seconds.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Out of the more than 9,000 patients we interviewed, more than 90%, more than 91% of them said that these toilets are high time for a major overhaul.
All right, thanks so much, Rosie Ching, Principal Lecturer at SMU, and Jack Sim, CEO and founder of World Toilet Organization. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.